welcome you all for Standard 10th, subject Science and Technology Part 2. Number 6, Animal Classification Module 3. My name is Ms. Jagjit Kaur. Students, before beginning with Module 3, let us recall what we have studied in Module 2. So we studied that the poriferans have a spongy appearance and are therefore called sponges. They are attached to the substratum and do not move. They have the ability to absorb and withhold fluids. The coleotrates are aquatic, mostly marine organisms. The body is radially symmetrical and exhibit a tissue-level organization. Their mouth is surrounded by sensory tentacles which help to capture their prey. Phylum Platyhelminthes includes 13,000 species. The organisms are also known as flatworms. These are acoelomates and they include many free-living and parasitic life forms. Esculenthes are commonly known as roundworms. They are characterized by the presence of a pseudocolon. Phylum Annelida are found in aquatic as well as terrestrial environments. These are bilaterally symmetrical invertebrate organisms and their segmented body distinguishes them from any other organism. Arthropoda is the largest phylum with about 9 lakh species. They may be aquatic, terrestrial, or even parasitic. They have jointed appendages and a chitinous exoskeleton. Phylum Mollusca have soft bodies, triploblastic and bilaterally symmetrical and coelomate. The study of mollusca is called malacology. They are sluggish invertebrates with a thin fleshy envelope or mantle covering the visceral organs. The organisms belonging to the phylum Echinodermata are exclusively marine. Till date, there have been no traces of any terrestrial or freshwater echinoderms. Then lastly, we studied about phylum Hemichordata. Phylum Hemichordata is a small phylum with only 100 known species. With animals having a worm-like appearance, some species may be solitary or some occur in colonies. Now let us understand the learning objectives of today's module. So students, in today's module, you all will be learning about the last phylum in kingdom Animalia, that is phylum Chordata. Then further, phylum Chordata is being divided into 3 subphylums. So you will be learning about those 3 subphylum, that is subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata and subphylum Vertebrata or Craniata. Then students, further subphylum Vertebrata is divided into 6 classes. So we will be learning about those 6 classes, and those 6 classes are class Cyclostomata, class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves and class Mammalia. Students, now first let us understand about phylum Chordata. So animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. That means animals belonging to phylum Chordata have supporting notochord in their body and all chordates are included in the same phylum. They are bilaterally symmetrical, diploblastic, coelomate with organ system level of organization, and also animals in phylum Chordata possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. And students, all chordates possess the following characteristics. That means they have notochord, that is notochord is present in the body during at least any developmental stage. Then pharyngeal gill slits are present in the body during at least any developmental stage, and single tubular spinal cord is present on dorsal side of the body, and heart is present on the ventral side of the body. Now students, phylum Chordata is further divided into three subphylums, that is subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata and subphylum Vertebrata. And further, this subphylum Vertebrata is classified into six classes, that is class Cyclostomata, class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves and class Mammalia. Now students, subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. And in Urochordata, notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. And in phylum Vertebrata, these animals have a true vertebral column and internal skeleton, allowing a completely different distribution of muscle attachment points to be used for movement. Now further, let us understand in detail about the three subphylums of phylum Chordata. Students, now let's learn in detail about subphylum Urochordata. So in subphylum Urochordata, mostly the animals are marine animals and their body is covered by skin-like test or tunic. The larvae of these animals are freely swimming and notochord is present in only tail region of larvae. Hence, they are called as Urochordata. Then larvae metamorphose into adults after settling down at the bottom of the sea. And generally, these animals are hermaphrodite. Now, what do you mean by hermaphrodite? Hermaphrodite means a person or an animal that has both male and female sexual organs or characteristics. And the examples for subphylum Urochordata are Herdmania, Doliolum and Oikoplora, etc. Now the next subphylum is subphylum Cephalochordata. Now students, the animals in subphylum Cephalochordata are small, fish-like and marine animals. Notochord is present throughout the body length and pharynx is very large and contains gill slits. These animals are unisexual. For example, Amphiuchus. Students, the third subphylum is subphylum Vertebrata or Craniata. In these animals, that means animals belonging to subphylum Vertebrata, notochord is replaced by vertebral column and head is well developed. Also, brain is protected by cranium and endoskeleton is either cartilaginous or bony. Some chordates are jawless, that means agnatha, whereas some are with jaws, that is gnathostomata. Students, subphylum Vertebrata is further classified into six classes. So the first class of subphylum Vertebrata is class Cyclostomata. So the animals in class Cyclostomata have jawless mouth provided with sucker. Their skin is soft and without any scale. Paired appendages are absent and endoskeleton is cartilaginous. And most of the animals are ectoparasites. For example, petromycin and myxin, etc. Pisces is the second class in subphylum Vertebrata. So the animals in class Pisces are cold-blooded aquatic animals, or we can call it as poikilotherms. They are living in marine and fresh waters. Body is spindle-shaped to minimize water resistance. And they have paired and unpaired fins for swimming, Tail fin is useful as a steering organ during swimming. An exoskeleton is in the form of scales, and endoskeleton is either cartilaginous or bony. And also respiration occurs with gills. For example, rohu, pomfret, seahorse, shark, electric ray, stingray, etc. Students, the third class in subphylum Vertebrata is class Amphibia. These animals are strictly aquatic during larval life and perform only aquatic respiration, whereas they can live in water as well as on land during adult life and can perform aquatic as well as aerial respiration. They have two pairs of appendages and digits are without claws. Exoskeleton is absent and skin is without any derivative and usually kept moist for respiration. An external ear is absent but tympanum is present. Now what is tympanum? Tympanum is the membrane, or we can call it as eardrum. And also neck is absent in the animals belonging to class Amphibia, and eyes are prominent with eyelids. For example, frog, toad, salamander, etc. Now the fourth class is class Reptilia. Now according to the course of animal evolution, these are the first true terrestrial animals with creeping movement. And also these are cold-blooded animals. That means we can call them poikilotherms. They creep on the land as their body cannot be lifted up and their skin is dry and scaly. Neck is present between head and trunk. An external ear is absent. Digits are provided with claws, for example, tortoise, lizard, snake, etc. And the fifth class in subphylum Vertebrata is class Aves. These vertebrates are completely adapted for aerial life. These are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded animals are also called as homeotherms. That means they can maintain their body temperature constant. Their body is spindle-shaped to minimize air resistance during flight, and forelimbs are modified into wings. Digits are covered with scales and bear claws. Exoskeleton is present in the form of feathers and neck is present between head and trunk. Jaws are modified into beak, for example, peacock, parrot, pigeon, duck, penguin, etc. Now students, sixth class in subphylum Vertebrata is class Mammalia. Now animals belonging to class Mammalia, they are having mammary glands. That means presence of mammary glands is typical character of Mammalia. These animals are warm-blooded and bodies divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. Digits are provided with nails, claws or hooves. An exoskeleton is in the form of hairs or fur, for example, elephant, human, kangaroo, dolphin, bat, etc. Now students, what do you mean by hooves? Yes, it is the horny part of the foot of an ungulate animal, especially a horse. Students, this was the end of module 3. Now let us summarize what we have learned in today's module. So we learned that chordates possess a notochord, a dorsal nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, and a post-anal tail. These four anatomical features define this phylum. Then chordates are divided into three subphylum, that is subphylum Cephalochordata, subphylum Urochordata, and subphylum Vertebrata. Cephalochordates are small, fish-like marine animals. Notochord is present throughout the length of the body. Their pharynx is very large and contains gill slits and are unisexual. In Urochordates, notochord is present only in the tail region of larvae and are hermaphrodites. In Vertebrata, notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Vertebrates are classified into 6 classes based on their anatomical and physiological features. So the first class which we studied in subphylum Vertebrata was class Cyclostomata. Animals belonging to class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites and have jawless mouth provided with sucker. Then we studied about class Pisces. Animals belonging to class Pisces are cold-blooded aquatic animals. Respiration occurs through gills. Then we studied about class Amphibia. Animals belonging to class Amphibia are strictly aquatic during larval stage and perform only aquatic respiration, whereas they can live in water as well as on land during adult life and can perform aquatic as well as aerial respiration. Then we studied about class reptiles. Animals belonging to class reptiles are the first true terrestrial animals with creeping movement. They are cold-blooded animals and neck is present between the head and the trunk. Then we studied about class Aves. Animals belonging to class Aves completely adapt aerial life. They are warm-blooded animals and they can maintain their body temperature constant. Jaws are modified into beak. And the last class which we studied was class Mammalia. In class Mammalia, mammary glands are present. Animals are warm-blooded animals and exoskeleton is in the form of hairs or fur. Now students, here is an assignment for you all. You have to complete the given table. Now, this table you are supposed to tell the group, character and the example for the information given in the table. Now the first is you have to identify the group and the character given is body is covered by tunic and example is Doliolum. So which group does it belong? Yes, Urochordata. Then the second one, again you are supposed to identify the group. The character given is the organism is eocelomate, bilateral symmetry and segmented. An example given is honeybee. So in which group does it belong? Yes, correct. It belongs to group Arthropoda. Now in the third one, group Cnidaria is given and the character is given as polyp and medusa body form. So which example? You have to tell the example of it. So the example is correct, C. anemone. Then the fourth one, again group is given as Cnidaria and example is given as toad. Now students, you are supposed to tell the character. So yes, the character is that notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Now students, the second assignment is you have to identify the animal and the phylum to which it belongs. So let us begin. The first picture is of Spongilla and the phylum is phylum Porifera. Then the second one is tapeworm. Tapeworm belongs to phylum Platyhelminthes. Then the third one, animal is leech. Leech belongs to phylum Annelida. Now the next animal is sea cucumber. Sea cucumber belongs to phylum Echinodermata, correct. Then the next animal is Secoglossus. Secoglossus belongs to phylum Hemichordata. Now the last image is of animal Myxin. Myxin belongs to phylum Chordata. Thank you, dear students.